Hey everyone, it's Elle Hayes. Welcome back to my channel. I know this is a different setup that you may not be used to over here on my YouTube channel, but if you watch me on Twitch, this is probably the setup you're most accustomed to. So I thought this would be a fun video to go over our Spotify 2019 Wrapped list. And while I understand no one actually cares about my music tastes and what my list ended up being, I thought it would be fun to, as a group, kind of go over how music tastes evolve and change over time, and maybe why that is, both because we're getting older and obviously we change and therefore our music tastes change, but also how life events and moments in our lives can impact our taste in music as well, and in addition, trends. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. We're going to start off, it's showing me seasons. I don't know if that's I think that's for everyone, but it's telling me my sound change with the seasons, which also makes sense because I've made playlists specifically for different months. I was trying to be very on top of newer musics in the genres I enjoy and to kind of see where music is going and how it changed each month, because it does. It can change pretty rapidly in this putting out hits and singles kind of day and age. So without getting us a copyright strike, I'll just play the little clips of part of it. So for winter, it's clearly showing Mayday Parade, Fall Out Boy, and Bexy. And Fall Out Boy and Mayday Parade I've loved for years. Mayday, I think specifically I played so much in 2019 as it's a band that I always listen to when there are kind of growing pains in my life and when relationships kind of are strained. So I think that they in particular highlight that aspect of my life. Fall Out Boy, funny enough, I wasn't super happy with the changes they were making initially. I was totally the person who fought their sound changes, and I understand that they didn't happen as rapidly as I might view them as having happened because I was a late fan to the game. I didn't find out about them until Infinity on High when I was in middle school. So I think this is also showing my music taste greatly changed, especially in this last year, to kind of accept the changes musicians are making. I think as I have delved into my own music more, I'm appreciating that bands want to explore more within their own music. Bexy, on the other hand, is super different from artists I had listened to prior to this year, pretty much. I finally got into the whole emo rap feeling that's happening, where there's a very huge clash between rock and rap. Or not really clash, but they're the coming together of rock and rap in these genres. And his whole vibe is interesting. It's different. He's very much his own person, and I thoroughly enjoyed learning about his music. I'm trying to remember. I think Go Get It is the song, and I've mentioned it in a previous music hall video, I believe. And Bexy in particular, I have to thank Adam22, the YouTuber, for getting me into, because he highlighted him at one point, and that's kind of how I found out about him. So let's move on from winter.
Yeah, I'm on and I'm off that red Christian lows. I rock designer shows. 100 bands for my cook.
The ones you can see here are Halsey, Drake, G-Eazy, and which one is that? Is that an album? I mean, that obviously that is an album. It's G-Eazy's album. Yeah, okay. So Drake I've listened to for a very long time. I think I got back into him and his older stuff when Scorpion came out, but also because I was heavily into a boxing class at the beginning of this year, and I listened to Drake a lot during that boxing class. Halsey and G-Eazy, I got into both of them because they were dating at one point, and they're both great musicians, all personal BS or whatever aside. I enjoy both of the music they've been coming out with. I think Halsey's had a lot of self-exploration, and I relate a lot to her because I feel like I've been through similar things that she has highlighted within her music, and we are close in age, so I think I just relate a lot to her as a person and as a musician. G-Eazy has a level kind of swag and a coolness in all of the music he does. I specifically liked a song he did a while ago with Cardi B and, oh my god, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Can't remember the name of it right now, but thoroughly enjoyed that song. And it's funny because I think a lot of my 2019 tastes, with the exception of you'll see certain albums that are clearly newer, I think a lot of it has been me reflecting on older music that I wasn't into when it initially came out, which has been an interesting one. Let's move forward from spring. It didn't want to pause, which is great because I'm totally going to get, I hope I won't get claimed. There are not that many seconds of it. So for summer, really funny, my interesting taste here, but giant Machine Gun Kelly fan since I think 2018, but I'm very new to that whole fandom and part of music. Similarly, in the way I just got introduced to Becky not that long ago, I started listening to Machine Gun Kelly before I think he fully broke into being extremely popular and mainstream, because I was still listening to his older music before any of his giant hits came up, before he had his whole beef with Eminem. I'm sure that's part of why he's so high up on my list, though. Going back to the whole rock and rap thing, that's just been a giant theme right now that I'm enjoying, both trend-wise and just on a personal level. I've finally allowed my music taste to grow, because for a very long time I was one of those annoying people who only enjoyed pop punk and heavier stuff and wouldn't really listen to the other stuff. I finally have gotten over myself and stopped being kind of a know-it-all when it came to music.
Woohoo! I'm a college man! I won't need my high school diploma anymore! I am the smart! I am the smart!
And I have a lot of that genre to thank. Travis Barker's also shown in the back. Youngblood. Youngblood, I think, is the newest artist I've gotten into. Also because of his song with Halsey is how I got to know him. And then he did his collab with Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly, which is why they're all showcased here for the summer. We'll move forward. But I do very much enjoy Youngblood as a whole. He reminds me very much of the rocker phase, the punk rock phases. The true punk rebel in music, he reminds me of that. And I get that that's weird to say since he's obviously very much in the mainstream, but his entire vibe and way screams rock star to me. I think it's been a very long time since I've seen an artist that so much seemed like they fit that lifestyle and that truly was them and it's authentic. And also, it captivates everything you think of with a rocker. He is someone you both want to get to know and be. He's just an incredible artist, both in music and in the way he expresses himself. And I'm very impressed with him and excited to see where his career goes. Let's go to the next one. So, Billie Eilish. Love, love, love her. Another giant success from the last year or two when she very much broke into mainstream. She's also very much high up on my list, I think, in artists I listen to, because in my vocal lessons, I've been working more towards using my head voice, and singing Billie Eilish songs really pushes you there. She's got a phenomenal voice, very talented individual. She too brings an interesting spin to her art. You especially see that in her music videos, and that's extremely exciting. I love her entire way, and it's funny because I watch other female artists who are older and been in the industry a little bit longer than her, as she's either 17 or 18. She's very young. But I've agreed with this comment that many female artists have said about her, where they wish they had someone like her when they were growing up. And that might seem like a very bizarre statement, but Billie Eilish is an incredible role model for younger girls. And I'm not saying there's never been a great role model in music that's a female. I'm totally not saying that. There have been so many. I'm not shitting on anyone's careers or individuality. I think, though, she's just an entire package and comes off very down to earth. And that's a great thing for young girls who are interested in the music industry to see and look up to. We have The Story So Far over here, which, no shocker there, I've been in love with them for a very long time. Their most recent album, I think, was Proper Dose, and I know they had mixed reviews on it, but I personally loved it. I think it was an incredibly well done album, both production wise and music wise. I think the songs were a change that was kind of needed, since they've always been pigeonholed into this feeling of being angsty, almost in a teenager way, and just angry in all their music. And this album was not that. You could still get hints of who they are. They're not losing who they are, but I liked where they went with it. And I've played that entire album on repeat constantly. Up in the top right, we have Jack Harlow. He is also a newer rapper that I just got into. I think he's from the South. He has an accent. I can't say know exactly where he's from. I also got into him, I think, because of something Adam22 retweeted. I've definitely found more of the newer rap artists that are up and coming through Adam22's tweets. He's obviously super involved in the industry, and an easy way to find what's up and coming in that part of it. I'm not saying I love everything that is up and coming in the younger rap generation. I haven't enjoyed everything that's come up, but there's some interesting people that are coming up, and some music that just, it hits hard and you enjoy it. His is less like the other younger rappers I've mentioned thus far. His is not, I wouldn't classify it as like the emo rap. I think it's more pop rap, but I also would be lying if I said I knew rap genres as well as other stuff. We will continue now. That's so funny, you can barely see him. Okay. I did spoil this already, but my number one artist was Machine Gun Kelly. And I've just been so stoked for his whole career. I even enjoyed his beef with Eminem, whether it was or wasn't for publicity. Well, only the people on the in, I suppose, know. I'm sure there was part of it that was. He handled the whole thing well. I still think he came out with a great song. I think he's come out with great music since then. While I didn't love the initial EP right after, there was one song, I think it's called Signs, that was on the quick EP that came out right after that beef, and I liked that song. And Candy, I have gotten so many people into that song who don't necessarily love Machine Gun Kelly. I think what I enjoy a lot about him is he's not afraid to collab with artists that would, in theory, sometimes seem outside of the norm for his genre, like collabing with Yungblud, collabing with Travis Barker. Years ago, he collabed with Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens. I think he very much embodies everything I love about this rap and rock thing that's going on. And I think that's why rap is becoming such a heavy influence in my music. So I think I have Machine Gun Kelly to thank for a lot of my music taste now. I love Mayday Parade. I think this is an interesting list, though, because if you were to ask me artists that I play regularly, I don't know that I would list all of these. And that's not to say I don't enjoy their music. I do think part of my list is skewed because when I work out, I listen very heavily to rap and pop very heavily. So I don't necessarily think G-Eazy would be on my top, or Halsey for that matter, because I don't necessarily go and listen to their albums outside of working out on a regular basis. That's not to say they're not good. I personally enjoy pop and rap pop more often when I am working out and doing something high intensity, which is funny because years ago I definitely preferred screamo and heavier music, but not as of late. Mayday Parade, I think, will always be my top artist. They're a band I always gravitate back towards. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on their newest album. Oh, is that their? I think, no wait, it's called Summerland, I think. Nope, Sunnyland. It was gonna come to me. I knew it was coming. Looked at it as Sunnyland was their newest album, I believe, and I was so annoying when it first came out. I didn't love it, and then I went to see them as they were touring that album, and I ended up loving it. After seeing them live, I was thinking, okay, I'll take another look at the album. Maybe I prejudged it. And I did. I 100% did, and I truly have enjoyed this album, and I'm playing it on repeat. And I want to do a cover of Sunnyland, or there's one other song, I think. Stay the Same. I think that's on that album, if I'm not forgetting. They have another song, Stay, from a previous album, so could be confusing. G-Eazy, I've never listened to an album of G-Eazy's, or Youngblood for that matter. I've never listened to full albums of theirs ever. That's not to say they're not good. I just have never done that. I found individual songs I've liked. Maybe this will push me to dive further. I do thoroughly enjoy Youngblood as an entire artist, that it's funny to me that I haven't had an entire album of his yet, but I can easily rectify that now. Halsey, I've been so excited about her growth and everything she's doing. Her new album sounds beautiful. I'm not shocked though. So it makes sense that she's here, but it is funny to me that I've only listened to complete albums, I think, of 2 artists on here. Funny enough, have I listened to a full one of Machine Gun Kelly? If you count his EP, yes, but I don't know. Oh, I guess Halsey's only been putting out EPs too. So I should be careful. I don't necessarily know. World citizen. When it comes to your music, borders disappear. You've listened to artists from 11 countries. That's kind of sad. I definitely need to listen to more because I don't think I've listened to... There's something funny though. I think there are some songs I like that are not on Spotify. For instance, is it called Ichima? I don't remember what country they're from, but the song I like of theirs is a remix that's on Spotify, and I don't like the remix. The original one I've only been finding on YouTube. I don't know if that's a location thing as to why I'm only finding it there, but that also would have been added here.
Squash shit. Ichima.
I will say I probably need to get my music to expand borders a little more. I probably am very isolated to what becomes popular in the US. Very much so. But I mean, makes sense since I live here and that's what I'm hearing on a regular basis, as I do listen to the radio. Could be part of the influence. If I go insane, that was Lainey. Oh, I love Lainey. This makes sense to me and is funny because I've seen a lot of people complain when they see pop as their top thing. I think we all like to think, no, I'm above that and I listen to other stuff, which there are people who do. I see people who don't even have pop on their list. That's fine. But we also have to remember that pop is written in a certain way. It's supposed to be catchy. It's supposed to get stuck in your head. You're supposed to want to play it on repeat. Not saying everyone does that, but I'm saying it makes sense when it ends up very high on a list because that's how that music is written. So I'm not shocked. I think the pop I tend to listen to mostly working out. As I mentioned, pop rap depends because I don't know what Machine Gun Kelly is classified as. So that I'm not sure what all the rap I listen to is classified as. And I think part of all the genre breakdown and everything being surprising to some people is for years we got our information from iTunes, and if we all remember how iTunes broke down genres, it was so pathetic. Anything that wasn't straight up rock was classified an alternative, and most of that didn't belong in alternative, and you didn't get a further breakdown than that. So seeing the actual genres is something we're all adjusting to. Emo rap, emo, pop punk all make a lot of sense. All of these, as funny as they're calling me genre fluid, I don't think this is a giant range. I've seen people with a bigger range of music taste than me. To me, this seems more, they're stepping stones to each other. They all in some way overlap, so I don't think any of this is really, wow, that's a random thing you listen to. All of this connects in a way, so it makes sense to me. That's kind of where my taste has been lying. It's the same song, so I'm going to clip that. But, so it's 1942 G-Eazy. That's funny. I didn't know that was the name of the song. Candy, yes, I played that so many times. 11 Minutes, I loved that so, so much. I loved that, and I Think I'm Okay. Yeah, that was also the one Youngblood did with Travis and Machine Gun Kelly. These two songs were just phenomenal collabs to me. And I've loved all the introductions everyone's making for one another with new artists, and to see what comes out of those great relationships. I'm loving this. Okay is Lainey and Julia Michaels. Love this song. I've also loved Lainey for a while. I mentioned them, I think, in a previous music hall video or favorites video. If you haven't listened to them, I very much check it out. I very much recommend checking it out. speaking today is not my forte. They're just a lot of fun, and they have a very chill vibe with it still being upbeat. Because I'm not someone who loves chill vibes, let's all just hang out and relax. That sounded very sad. I'm constantly up here. But this song was just very well done. Headlines. See, as I mentioned, listening back to some music, that's because of boxing 100%. Pull It, Dying in Designer. Okay, that's another artist I was recently introduced to in that whole emo rap kind of feel. Addicting song definitely has strong pop elements in it, especially with the music and writing and the beat. It's phenomenal. I love Hayley Kiyoko and Kehlani. Love them. Just their music video together too. Giant crushes. Don't know how you wouldn't have. Go Getta, that's the song I mentioned before with Bexy. Makes sense, it's up here. Steady Glow, In Her Own Words. So that's funny because I think that's, I can't remember if that one's older or if these are all 2019 ones. No, wait, Headlines isn't. Steady Glow, I don't remember if that's an older one of theirs, but I'm new to In Her Own Words. I think for a while when I was getting very much into the emo rap music, I kind of took a step away from the pop punk world and stopped really seeing what the new artists were and trends. So I'm late to In Her Own Words, but I think I've at least found out about them early-ish in their career. So I'm excited to see where they'll go and how far they can push their music. Loving them though. They're not stereotypical pop punk. There's still interesting parts of it that make it different enough. I know some people get very bored with pop punk. They think it's repetitive, which I can understand. But I think if you really dive deep, you'll find artists that break that mold a little bit. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know that it was super different. I thought it was fun though. I like going through music and seeing kind of how my taste has developed and what influences that, both externally and internally. I hope this was fun for you too, and if you also have checked out your 2019 Wrapped, let me know if you had any in common or artists that clearly I've not mentioned at all and I should be checking out. Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. If you liked this video, please click on more videos. Hang out on our channel more by subscribing. Join this awesome family that we're all a part of in some weird way. It'll be great. Thanks.